So guys, in this video we are going to continue working on the website, auto detailing website, so let's get straight into the video. And also don't forget to watch the previous videos if you haven't watched them yet, because we are actually have tutorials how we created the design, etc, etc. Alright, so here's what we have from the previous video. Let's check. And that's it. So now what we are going to do, simply we are going to create this pre-navigation menu. As we did, we already exported these three icons. So now what we have to do is to create just the pre-navigation menu. And how we can do that, we can simply add another div block into our navigation menu, the nav bar, and we can name it pre-nav. Then put the main color, which is red, and container, like this. Right, so let's see, we can add some text block. Honestly, no, we're going to add div blocks, two div blocks, and one will be left side pre-nav, and the other one right side pre-nav, because we have on the left side we have two icons, on the right side we have a phone number, and so for that we need this, and we need one more wrapper, and that with this div block we are going to put inside these two left and right side pre-navigation blocks. So I'm going to name it this pre-navigation wrapper and set to display flex. Display flex aligns center and space between. Perfect. Instead of this one, this should be clickable, so we need to create link block. So link, so I'm going to add link block and URL facebook.com should be good, and we are going to add inside of this link block image. Honestly, firstly we are going to add class to this link block, and we would say like nav, pre-nav, social, link, and then image inside of this link block. And then we should put Facebook icon and Instagram icon. And no, we're going to undo and then add class to this image, so we can easily later change the size of the image. So pre-nav social icon, like this, and then we can duplicate, and as you can see these two icons have the same class. Okay, now we are going to replace this icon into the Instagram icon, and we are going to resize them maybe like 20 pixels and 20 pixels. And also we are going to add margin on the right, like this. Good. I'm gonna publish it and to see what we have now. Refresh, nice. But we have some small problem here. Let's see what will happen if we add another section. And I'll just add padding of 140 pixels and publish it once again. Yeah, okay. We don't need this padding here, so we are going to remove it. And what do we need? Actually, we need padding here. And we should fix the problem. Refresh it, and nice, we fixed the problem. But also, as you can see here, we don't have any spacing between the top and bottom edge of this red wrapper, and as you can see in the design we have it, so we need to add padding on this element here, which could be like, let's see how much is here, 5 pixels. Nice. And let's see how this looks now. Perfect. So then maybe we should make the icons a little bit smaller, like 15 pixels and 15. Or let's see, yeah, they are 12. Okay, 15 should be good. Or no, maybe 20 is better. But let's firstly add the phone number as well. So we are going to, for this we don't need any link block, because we have call to action here and we don't need it here obviously. So I'm going to add div block and I'm gonna call it, name it phone number pre-nav phone number, like this. And then I'm going to put the image inside of it, and that is the phone icon. And I'll just copy the class of it and paste it here. And also I'll need this text block like this, and I'll name it pre-nav phone number text like this. And I need to color it into a white and smaller font size like 12. Nice. Then as you can see, they're in 2 rows, and we don't need that actually because here is in 1 row. What we need to do, you can guess by yourself. Click on this wrapper where the icon and the text is placed, and we need to click on the wrapper, honestly pre-nav phone number, this class, set layout to flex, layout display flex. Nice, and just center like this. And also we need to add margin on this text like 10. Now this should look good. I'll refresh it, and I'm refreshing the website by the way with F5 on keyboard. Okay, perfect. Now, but as you can see, when you scroll down a little bit, the text is harder to read. We didn't do that part in our design, but what we can do here, because as you can see here, home is hard to read, this home nav link, and what we can do, we can simply add to this nav bar backdrop effect filters honestly, and radius of 10 pixels or even 5 is enough. Let's see how this looks. And now as you can see, the content is more readable. That is inside of this navigation menu. Perfect. Now let's move on. Maybe just firstly we need to add some effects, our effects, to these links. So what we can do here, add transitions to all properties and 300 ms. Then when you hover, we should lower actually just the opacity at 75%, and that's it. So when we hover to those 2 icons, honestly on one icon, that icon that we hovered, it should have some gray color because of its opacity. Let's see how that works. Yes, as you can see, the color is changing. I'm gonna zoom it. See, clean effect, hover effect. And also we need some hover animation for these links. So what we can do now, simply we're going to add transition to all properties on with 300 ms. This is like 0.3 seconds, and that is good enough. You can play with those properties, but I usually work like this. And also we can add, maybe for this, we can add to hover color with 100% opacity and with border bottom, like this. Let's see how this looks. Gonna publish the website and refresh it. And this looks solid. And also for the call to action buttons, we can just add simple animation. We're gonna do transitions on all properties as well, 300 ms. And on hover, we should click on 2D and 3D transformations, scale, and 0.95, like this. And when you hover on the button, it should make it a little bit smaller, and it gives cool effect. So let's see. I'm gonna refresh the website by clicking F5, and as you can see, oops, sorry. Clean, very clean effect. And also we can add lower opacity while hovering this button, maybe like 80%. that looks solid. And also it works on this button as well, because we've used the same classes for those two buttons. Okay, perfect. We have animations and interactions for all buttons here and elements. And now we are moving into the next section, that is about us. So we are going to use this section that I've created previously and name it about us section. And padding, the padding is, I guess, good, 120 pixels, okay. And then we need container, because we want to keep the layout consistent. As you can see, everything is one line from here to down, and as well from here to here. Everything fits well. That's why we are using containers. So we have here subheading, and also as you can see now, the section is splitting into two columns. For this we can use grid or columns. I think columns is easier for this situation, sorry. And 6, 6. So basically it's splitted. So now in the left column we are going to add text block, which is going to be section subheading, and we are going to copy this. Who we are. It has case text transformations, case uppercase, and the red color, like this. Okay, fine. And then this heading, this needs to be heading 2 because of SEO needs. So now I'm going to add class for this heading 2, main heading 2. Okay, that's good. For pixels and 1.3 minus, that's like 130% of line height. And then we need this line divider. I'm gonna create div block and name it line divider. We need minimum we need minimum height of 1 pixel and width of 100%. And the color is black with 11% of opacity. Actually we need height as well, and min with 100%. And why we can't see it? Oh, because we didn't. Okay, I made a mistake. I put the color into typography. We don't need that. We need into a backgrounds. Sorry, my bad. And now it works. So I'm going to publish it to see how it looks on the live website. Yeah, looks solid. Also, we are going to export the image right now. And while you are exporting the image, please remove the effects. So you'll just export the image as it is by default. And then in WebFlow, we are going to add that drop shadow. And I'll name it about image. And that's it. Going back into WebFlow, I need to upload the image. And here it is. And then what I'm going to do now, just simply drag it into this column. Perfect. And also I'll name it about section image, and then the drop shadow, which is 12 pixels, and this main color, 12 on X, 12 on Z. Box shadow 12 here, 12 pixels here with 0 blur, and main color. And see, we've got the same effect. Perfect. So I will publish it once again, and meanwhile we can see what we have next. We have this paragraph here, and let's see if we have more paragraphs like this. Yeah, we have one here and one here. So I'll give the class to the paragraph. Let's say paragraph and main P. P stands for paragraph. Okay. and it has the main font with black color with 80% opacity. Okay, and for the column we should put display flex and center the image like this. I'll publish it once again and give the margin. So give margin to this paragraph here and of 20 pixels, and then let's see how actually this looks now. Okay, perfect, looks solid. Also we need to reduce the spacing between those two paragraphs, those two titles, subheading and title, and that's it. And now we need to create these for like tabs. And how we are going to create that, as you know, we've created this section with columns, but for now, for this situation, because they are two in one row and we have two rows and two columns, we need for that grid. And you'll see now we've got the layout that we need in our situation. So I'll name it about grid and then put 4 div blocks, or honestly I'll just create one div block and later we are going just to duplicate them, and that will be about grid box. Fine. And also first let's just reduce the spacing between those two. Nice. And in this box we need to add the icon, but firstly we need to put this drop shadow, because as you can see it has some drop shadow, right? And that is 0, 0, blur of 15 pixels and size -4 with black color of 10% opacity. So let's see. Okay, so now we're going to add box shadow to this one with 0x, 0y, blur of 15 pixels, and this one -4, and black color with 10% opacity. Or maybe size we should put at 0. Let's see how this looks. Honestly, we won't see anything because the box is empty, and with that we have nothing. Color it. Okay, I'll just delete these 3 and then I'll put one div block, and that will be for about icon, about tab icon wrapper, and inside of it I'm going to add image, because as you can see here we have background color, we have honestly some square with the gray color to make the icon stand out more than the background of the tab. Then I'll use this icon and name it about tab icon. Fine. And for this one we need to add padding. Let's see, maybe like 10 pixels. Let's see how much is it. Yeah, 10. And for this one 10 as well. For the icon wrapper, 10 pixels. How I add padding to all 4 sides in one click? I just press shift and hold shift and press to the size that I want to add to the element. Okay, and we need to put display inline flex to this icon. So as you can see here, it only takes the size of what I just put inline flex. Okay, and I need background color of black with 3% opacity and some small border radius of 5 pixels. Nice, very clean. And the icon we should put like 28 pixels width and 28 pixels height. Nice. And now, because we have two texts here, we need to add one more div block inside of this tab, about tab, and that will be about tab text. Honestly, content wrapper, and we need to put, this would be maybe like heading 3, and the second one will be text block. Okay, so here it says reward, and we'll name it about tab heading 3 and about tab description. This, let's see, font size, we will make font size 16 pixels, and for this one I would say 13. And we need to add now on the entire wrapper display flex like this, and center it. We need to remove margins from those two. And let's see how this looks when we publish it. We need to add margin 10 pixels to here and line height of 1 minus like this. And we need to add okay, let's publish it. Okay, and now we have some small problem. As you can see, the height is bigger than the width of this icon, so we are going to add fixed width to this icon wrapper. Mean height of 32 pixels and mean width of 32 pixels, and also same for height and width. Maybe 32 is too small, like 40. And we should remove the padding and display flex to center and fixed with a height to 28 pixels like this. And let's publish it to see how it looks now. And also we need to add mean width and mean height, so we will solve this problem with that. And great, looks good. And also we need to make the wrapper a little bit bigger, maybe like 45 and 45. And line height, smaller line height to this heading 3, and a little bit margin between the text and heading. And now we should solve the problem. Right, it looks very good. And now what we're going to do, just to duplicate this box 3 times, and that's it. We're going, honestly, we need some margin here, like 20 pixels or even more, 40, and we need to remove this margin here, which is minus 10. We need to put 0 and 0. Just if you want to change the left and the right, and or the top and the bottom, just 2 values, you need to hold Alt on your keyboard and the value that you want. As you can see, I'm holding Alt on my keyboard and it's changing the margin only for the right and the left side. And I just set to 0. And we need to add this call to action button. But let's see how this looks. Perfect. And now we are just going to add the call to action button, and that's it. It says read more. Yeah, read more. So, and now instead to add margin to this button, because if we add margin to this button, we will need to add another class, but we don't need that. We can simply add margin to this about grid. But because if we add margin to this button and without adding any class, oops, sorry, without adding any class, as you can see here, it's allowed to all buttons. With that, we need to add class to the button, about button for example, CTA button. And with that, now you can add margin and it won't affect to the others one with the same class, because now it's affecting to this class right here. But instead of doing that, we can simply just add margin to this grid box, and that's it. Gonna publish it. And yeah, perfect. And now let's see what we've done so far. As you can see, we've created the print-out menu and we added interactions to the navigation menu, print-out menu, and the call to action buttons. We've created this section here, which works very well and seems good. So guys, that's it for this video. In the next video, we are going to fully complete the website, and in the next videos, we are going to make the website actually good for SEO and with mobile responsiveness. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.